All right, I just finished chapter 54, and that was nuts. So the big thing, Dalinar's at this feast, right? And Hoid shows up, and he's like really serious, and he's like, I gotta get going, sorry, shit's taking precedence. And he mentioned Adonalsium, and he's like, essentially, bigger things are happening, so I'm gonna have to leave. And he's like, oh, interesting. What? And then Sadeas shows up at this feast, and he gives this whole big speech, and he's being real dramatic about it. And he essentially says, Dalinar is innocent, but somebody is trying to frame him in some way, and he doesn't know why. And then he ultimately was like, Dalinar, why would I betray you? I've always been trying to prove you innocent anyway. And also, you're so self-righteous, dude. Which, is he? Maybe I'm a little biased. But so all this happens, and then Dalinar is like, hey, join me. Because he tried to get the other princes to join him, and obviously nobody said yes. But Sadeas is like, well, how would we do that? And he goes, well, we can do these assaults. Your bridge crews are really fast, and my people are stronger and slower. So we'll do that. I'll give you a shard blade, but I'm keeping the plate for my other son, which is a pretty great deal. But, so all of this is insane because, this is Dalinar and Sadeas talking, but Kaladin is in Sadeas' army. So Kaladin is one of those bridge runners that Dalinar is talking about that's quick. So the circles, the Venn diagram is closing, which is very interesting. Is Kaladin gonna meet Dalinar? Has Kaladin met Sadeas even? Huh. But anyway, all of this to say, also, minor Era 2 Secret History spoilers from right now. So this whole thing has kind of made me believe, especially Hoid being like, I gotta go. Things are kind of big, Adonalsium level. And so, the mention of Odium and stuff, I read Era 1, and it's Vin, it's Elend, it's Kelsier. And then I read Era 2, we got Wax and Wayne. But it feels to me like I'm zoomed in on Scadrial, or I'm zoomed in on Cell, or I'm zoomed in on these planets, that, stuff's going on. But ultimately, there's so much bigger stuff at play that it's like, you think Vin and Elend are the lead in the story, which they kind of are, but if you zoom out, especially after Secret History with Kelsier doing his stuff, and Kelsier's also, playing the whole thing that he's doing, it's like, you thought that was the lead, but then you zoom out a little more, and then you zoom out a little more, and it's like, there's cosmic stuff going on, and Hoid is obviously a part of that. So it's like, in the big picture, Hoid is one of, the main characters, along with, I guess, Chris. So, there's another tier of characters that maybe I don't even know all of them yet, that are the Justice League, that are just hanging out on the outside, kind of watching things happen down below, but the average person has no idea. So, that's a lot to digest. That's pretty wild. But because I'm experiencing things kind of through Dalinar, I want to trust Sadeas, but the last chapter, Dunny got killed, and he's one of Sadeas' men, and Sadeas is using Bridgman as bait, which sucks. But, you know what, Dalinar, I'm assuming he also has bridge crews in his army, so he's also doing it. So now it's, really complicated, because clearly that's not cool, but they're all doing it. So I got a lot of conflicting emotions here.